Kids in the Hall, the show ran from 1989 to 1995 on CBC. I never missed an episode. I probably still have my VHS tapes too, somewhere. Then you did your own thing, but you would come back for live shows and tours. And now you're bringing the series back to Amazon Prime. What made you decide that it was time to come back to TV? Why now?
The opportunity was there, I guess, and Dave found a money bucket out in the desert, and then he had 5 straws, so we all showed up. I don't know, you.
Yeah, I think
you respond to opportunity, and sometimes we intentionally go and do stuff like tours. So.
And I think the seed of it also was we did on some of those live tours that we did. We did a couple where we did one where we did all new material, where we didn't do any old sketches. Two. We did two.
No. We did tour was mostly new material, and now we've got this material that we want to film.
Yeah, and we realized that we could still write sketches together, which was so because. I mean, I know for me, I always thought, oh no, it's a young man's game. It's too hard. But then when we wrote those tours, I thought, oh, we still have some stuff in us.
Well, was it kind of tough to get back into the swing of doing it? Because I mean, you had done your tours, so you've already worked together for years and years and years. It's not new for you.
No, and I think whenever the 5 of us get together, we immediately revert back to who we were 40 years ago, where nothing has changed in terms of the dynamic.
Just painful, but useful.
Yeah.
So will this new season then, will it be reminiscent sort of the original? Because I see you've got some guest stars, and that was a little bit different than the series back in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, we had some guest stars in the 90s too. We had Kim Mitchell.
Yeah, we had Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes. We had who was our Las Vegas confetti throwing?
Rip Taylor.
Rip Taylor. Yeah, Rip Taylor.
With anyone else? That's pretty much it, isn't it? Oh, well, Sarah Pauli.
Sarah Pauli.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes.
Nev Campbell, but she wasn't famous yet.
Yeah.
You made her famous.
Yeah.
We prevented her fame from arriving by the week that it took to film our episode.
Yeah.
Well, but for us oldies, that were there from the very beginning, is this something that we'll really love? We'll get into again?
Nope, sadly.
We'll hate it. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Made a bad decision to do it in Latin, which I realize is a dead.
Yeah. It was our way of saying we love Vatican II.
Yeah. Really, when I think about it now, we should have just concentrated on the comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why it was a ridiculous point. A political gesture with no real benefit.
Pointless when you think about it. When you think of the money we spent.
Yeah, and that Pope isn't even alive anymore.
I know.
Okay, so let's go back to the 90s. I was a teenager back then, and it really shaped my sense of humor.
So were we. We were teenagers too.
There's so many lines from the show that I use in everyday language. In fact, when I got my drama degree, I used the monologue when you were the bad doctor, and I used that monologue to get my degrry. Yes.
Oh,
so you couldn't have known back then like what it would become, but now. And so, I mean, it's a corny question, but how do you feel? How does it feel to be a part of Canadiana?
It's weird. I don't think I really felt it until Paul Myers just texted me photos of our photos up on TTC streetcars.
Yeah, I saw that. That was weird.
I think that's the first time I've really felt it.
All I can think is, why did I let that guy put me in a bee outfit? I look like the Michelin Man, for God's sake. Anyway, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Did the show end up shaping like the trajectory of your careers as well? Did it change you guys?
Created careers for each of us.
Yeah, it's a career maker.
Yeah, I don't know what any of us would be doing if we hadn't been Kids in the Hall first. I'm sure we'd have had some sort of careers, but certainly nothing resembling what we've had.
Yeah, and unlike a regular acting gig, it gave us all a chance to sort of thrash out or touch things that we wanted to do, whether it was directing or focusing on writing or getting involved in, So, I was able to be a little actory. You know what I mean? It's like there was a lot of elbow room in the show.
Yeah. Being in your 20s and being on television and having absolute control over every element of the show you're doing.
It's
not
really
something that
great
happens a lot.
preparation for going to Hollywood, because that just continues.
Yeah.
There's never anyone who steps up to you again and says you can't do that, or I'm sorry, we don't want to do this show of yours.
Yeah, once you've proven you can do it, they just let you do it.
They just say.
Is there a big difference between Canadian television, doing Canadian television, and
back then even more? I don't think so now. I think the that was a great question, but yes, back then, like, we got spoiled. We were doing our show in Toronto. We knew that people were watching us, and we'd done a couple of very small tours that told us that we had a fan base. But we went out into the world expecting creative control on the basis of having a cult comedy show. And it took me a long time to learn that. You probably knew it right away, Dave, because I think you and Kevin in particular understood the business better. I didn't.
Yeah, well, I went straight into a show where I was, just an actor. So that was, felt like semi-retirement, really.
Yeah.
So are you bringing some of the old characters back to this new series?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but none of the ones you like.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to ask you. I was
going
to say,
Latin-speaking ones, all the ones that have a functioning ability to speak Latin are back.
Yeah,
but
and
those are pretty obscure. No, we're bringing some back. You'll see some not. Some were actually written up like that. It's a character, an old character of mine I wanted to play, and I wrote a really good sketch. But when we broke it down, it was 2 days of shooting or something, so it didn't get in. Yeah.
Well, and before I let you go, I mean, like, we all have our favorite characters. What are yours?
I don't know.
I'm going to try and let's see, pick obscure ones for the other guys. I don't know why, but Sarcastic Guy, which is going all the way back to the special, is a really good one. I like Kevin. Any woman that Kevin plays is fantastic. I mean, for Scott, I could say Buddy Cole, but I think he's actually, as a personality, closer to Francesca Fiore. Oh. And Bruce, one sketch that I kind of go, I wish I'd written that, is Flying Pig. Like, I like those. Yeah.
Yep. And I'll cover Mark. I love Mark's Darryl was always one of my favorites. And your Don't Cut Off My Cable guy is one of my favorite performances. Yeah. That's one of my favorite characters.
I will send you a cameo as one of those characters.
Okay.
Oh, Dave. Oh, I was like, yes, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I don't know how many times when I've been on the phone with somebody and I always go, sorry, Sonny Jim, what you're selling, I ain't buying. And that's probably my all-time favorite. But thank you guys so much. It's been such an honor, because like, growing up, you were such a huge part of my life, and everybody that I've talked to in the station that I've said I was talking to you, they're all going out of their minds. So,
well, you were a huge part of ours, and I'm lying.
Yeah. Well, I think no, I was forged in the West. That's where I started. Loose Moose Theater, Calgary, Spirit of the West. I love it.
I mean, it's Calgary, but whatever, I'll take it.
I know you're in Edmonton. But...
Yeah, I see the Maple Leafs jersey, but we'll blur it out. We'll put the oil patch on there. So. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I'll let you be on your way. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.
This is 89.3 The Raven.